American media is falling apart. For the past couple of days after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump and other popular conservatives have been calling for revenge against the left. There are other unhinged people celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and Jimmy Kimmel has just been canceled for making this comment.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
There was a few more jokes about Donald Trump's grieving thrown in there, but after seeing this, the FCC chair Brendan Carr made threats towards ABC and called for the suspension of the Jimmy Kimmel show, and ABC quickly fell in line. This is definitely the most extreme example of cancel culture on the right, but over the past couple of days, there have been multiple other examples, like Matthew Dowd from MSNBC and a handful of other teachers and college professors from around America have been canceled in a similar way. I wouldn't care too much about this if there wasn't a history of conservatives constantly crying about people getting canceled, and on top of this new wave of cancel culture, the president Donald Trump has been saying that a disproportionate amount of political violence comes from the left, and MAGA is calling for revenge. I heavily disagree with that talking point, but I bring this up to point out that the right is not making any attempts to bring the temperature down. I think the worst part of it is that Donald Trump is blaming only the left for political violence in America. I think everyone should see these clips about how our current president is responding to political violence versus how our former president Joe Biden responds to the attempted assassination of Donald Trump.
It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives.
And I want to make a quick reference, the attempted assassination against our former president in Florida yesterday. I commend the Secret Service for the expert handling of the situation, and the former president is protected from harm and the subject is in custody. An acting head of the Secret Service is in Florida today assessing what happened and determining whether any further adjustments need to be made to ensure the safety of our former president. Let me just say, there is no, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, those of you who know me, many of you do, no place in political violence for political violence in America. None. Zero. Never. I've always condemned political violence. I always will in America. In America, we resolve our differences peacefully at the ballot box, not at the end of a gun. America suffered too many times the tragedy of an assassin's bullet. It solves nothing and just tears the country apart. We must do everything we can to prevent it and never give it any oxygen.
I feel like these clips speak for themselves, but if they don't, please take note of how Joe Biden did not reference the left or the right in his speech, and he condemned political violence, all without blaming anyone. Donald Trump, on the other hand, specifically called out the left and said that we need to put a stop to them. We need to all stop trying to point blame at the left or the right. All you're going to do is anger more people and cause more divide in a country that's already extremely divided. We all need to condemn political violence, and we should not associate insane people with any political affiliation. On the other hand, we also all need to collectively condemn the assassination of Charlie Kirk. No matter how you felt about him, you should never be condoning people being murdered for peacefully debating. That doesn't mean you have to agree with everything that he said. Trust me, I have plenty of disagreements with Charlie Kirk. But if you support the murder of Charlie Kirk, you're encouraging other crazy people to do the same exact thing. Other than that, I don't really have too much to say about the situation right now. I will be making a video when more info is released about the Tyler Robinson case. If you liked the video, please be sure to subscribe and drop a comment or a like. If you disagree with anything that I said in the video, please leave a comment down below. I love having disagreements, and we all need to support having disagreements peacefully.